We are in our, I think, 11th year of homeschool. I've lost count. I think it's 11. And we have done so many different setups in different houses that we have lived at. So when we first started homeschooling, we did it like at our kitchen table. We didn't have a specific room for it. And then as we kind of grew into it, we had multiple kids homeschooling, so we actually turned our garage in that house into a giant homeschool room. Then we moved and we had a dedicated space, a dedicated room just for homeschool. And then when we decided to build our house, I thought I definitely needed to include in our plans a specific homeschool room. So I did that, but what I found was that it really didn't matter in any of the other places that we were homeschooling. We always just ended up at our dining room table anyway. So I decided instead to just incorporate some good places that we could organize really well for our homeschool. So I thought that I would show you guys today what I have set up, why I have it set up the way that I have it set up, and just kind of give you guys a tour of that. So the first thing that we're going to look at is what we keep downstairs, because the vast majority of our homeschool, at least when we start our days, when we start the day off, is started downstairs. So I'm going to show you guys what we keep down here. Downstairs we have a specific cabinet that we just keep all of our stuff that I want to kind of keep at my fingertips and be able to just know where it is at all times, readily available, all of those things. So I'll walk you through what we keep in this cabinet downstairs. So in our top shelf up here, we keep a lot of the manipulatives that we use for things, or some of our manipulatives. We have like some bubbles, these little dabber things for my 4-year-old. I have a little mini sewing machine up here that's my daughter's, some sewing like equipment, and some more sewing stuff, embroidery stuff that we keep up here. So that is something that I do like to try to incorporate as much as possible into our homeschool, just learning just basic sewing skills. And then we also just always have just some loose leaf paper, a pair of scissors, a ruler, stuff that I want to be able to just know exactly where it's at. And then this back here is all different stamps, mostly different letter stamps. So we use stamps a lot when we're practicing our letters, making spelling words, that sort of thing. So that's what we keep on our top shelf. My dog is making like the weirdest sound right now. On the next shelf, this is a basket of all of the things that we are currently using. So it's things that if we are going to go somewhere to do our homeschool for the day, like go to a park, or if we need to do it in the car while we're on the way somewhere, this basket we can just grab, and along with our notebooks, and that is probably going to be enough to just get us through for the day. So right now this has like one of my daughter's Bible notebooks. We have our word searches, the book that she's currently reading, Bridge to Terabithia, their math books, our history book that we are in right now, Story of the World. I really like this history. And then we also have some books. These are Anne of Green Gable, the box set that one of my daughters is kind of working through in her free time right now. And then I also keep all of our Progeny Press materials. So this is just all of the Progeny Press books that we have available in our home. I like to keep them all in the same place. That way I know where they're at and they're easy to find and reference. And then since we are working on biology right now, we have our human body book. And then these are the notebooks that each of my individual kids have that they are using for their own schoolwork. So basically it's just the stuff that we're using right now. And then our Progeny Press books on the shelf. Okay, shelf number 3, I have all of our math books that we are not currently in. I just like to make sure that they are available for us to look back at. That's really handy if my kids run into something that they don't remember how to do it or something, to be able to just grab an old book and look through it. We also have a bunch of old curriculum here, like this, the Homestead, the Mighty Warriors books that we really liked, but for one reason or another have not made it all the way through for. So this one in particular, we ended up not making it through because there were some things that I noticed that my kids really needed to work on outside of that. So we haven't made it through this one completely yet. I really do like this curriculum though. If you have never done anything with the Mighty Warriors, look these guys up. I was a big fan. This was really fun. So my girls went through that one and did that one. And then we have just some simple like books that are just like fun school-y books that my kids go through, like questions and answer books, that sort of thing. And then I also have all of the phonics books that I actually learned how to read out of these. And the school that I went to in kindergarten shut down, and it wasn't big enough and whatever, it was a long story. Anyway, the school shut down and I was able, my mom actually grabbed all of these books for me. So it's really fun. My kids got to learn how to read from the phonics books that I used. So we have those, and then there we go. My youngest daughter does a lot of these puzzles. Right now we're working on rhyming. We also have like lowercase and uppercase, alphabet, that sort of thing. But we do this one, so I'll usually pull this out and do this once or twice a week. So I like to keep at least one of these puzzles in at all time. That's the one that I happen to have in right now. I'm gonna have to go through and refix this. And then we have the Who Is, What Was books that we have available. Jane Goodall, we had What Was the Great Depression, we went through that one. This one was super interesting, and actually I think we might pick this one back up and go through this one again. Right now, just because of everything that's going on in the world, I think it would be really interesting to go back and look at that one. So I just totally messed up this shelf, but that's everything that's on this shelf. And then on our bottom shelf, don't judge, it's super dusty right now, if you can see that. I have a bunch of math manipulatives, some markers that don't go there, but I have a bunch of math manipulatives that I keep in here. Just some flashcards. These little bracelets are great for learning multiplication. So this one is multiples of 3, and I just have my kids wear it, and then like as they go throughout the day, they can kind of memorize the numbers, so they can know like if you're counting by threes, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. It just makes learning the multiplication facts a lot easier. So I have all of those in here. This is a microscope. And then over here we have just a bunch of just fun books that my kids like to look through. Treasury of country crafts and foods, like some cookbooks, that sort of thing. Gardening, easy peasy gardening for kids, like just fun homeschool books that are educational, but my kids really like to look through. I like to keep down here. So that is what I keep downstairs. Now I will show you what we keep upstairs. This baby is really getting to me. I am so out of breath this pregnancy, I swear. Okay, so upstairs we have just like our library of books that we are not currently using either for read alouds or for school. We have 1, 2, 4 built-in bookshelves. These are super deep though, so I actually am trying to figure out a new system and what to do. I have one of them just has a basket of books just for my youngest, so she can come in and grab them and somebody can read them to her. I really like that system, but for our like older kid books, we need to figure out something else. So this is just where we keep all of those. We also have like our sheet music for piano and stuff up here. So that's pretty much where we keep these books. My son does have some bookshelves in his room that also have some of our books on them, but those are more like the stuff that he just enjoys reading. And then our homeschool stuff tends to stay out here. So it has a special home, but these are things that I don't necessarily need to grab to use like on a regular basis. Okay, so then the last place that we have stuff in our house is, this is our like upstairs storeroom or storage room or upstairs pantry, whatever you want to call it, with all of our like bulk food items or whatever. We have a cabinet in here that is just for homeschool stuff as well. So this is the stuff that it might be like a little bit messier, things that are a little bit craftier. This is where we keep like all of these extra puzzles that my youngest does. So I'll come up once or twice a week and look and see everything that is on our curriculum for that week. Any of this kind of stuff that we need, I will grab it, stick it downstairs in our cabinet in our living room so that it's easily available. But for the most part, we just have a lot of like math games or letters or like manipulatives, that kind of stuff. We also have some like regular games and a lot of things like Mod Podge and glue and markers and crayons and all of our paint equipment, all of that kind of stuff in this cabinet. So that's where this stuff stays. So originally I thought maybe our upstairs like living area could be a homeschool room. My kids tend to go more to their bedrooms or just stay downstairs to work on their stuff. But we do have this cabinet, which I got from my grandma. It's an old antique like kitchen cabinet. This part actually is for flour. There's a sifter, but we obviously don't use it for that. But this part pulls out, so it works really well as a desk. So, and then in the cabinets up here we have a few books available. I am planning on repainting it, changing out the knobs and stuff. So I might show you guys when I do that. I'm pretty excited about that little project. So that's kind of nice. I do enjoy the fact that we have somewhere upstairs for our kids to come use. But again, they usually just will go to their room, sit on their bed, or just stay downstairs either at the bar or at the table and work on their schoolwork there. But regardless, it's nice to have a desk available for them upstairs. So that's it. That is our homeschool setup in our house. We don't have a dedicated room, but I think in the end, the way that we have it set up works really, really well. We have like 4 different spots that we keep things, and it just kind of makes it easier for us to keep everything organized, and we didn't have to give up an entire room of our house just for homeschool. So that's super handy. I hope that was helpful for you guys. If you guys have any questions about the way that we set up our homeschool rooms in the past, feel free to ask. I will see if I can pull up some pictures of those and add them to a post or something if you guys are interested. So thank you guys so much for watching. I am going to go sit down and catch my breath, and I will see you guys next time.